welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Caldwell Banker and Sakamoto Properties. Roy and Betty Sakamoto. Today in the studio is Regan Sherlock. This happens to be Ahu's son, for anyone that went to Lahaina Luna and graduated with Julie Flynn Sherlock. So it's really a great day. They're going to all be here for Christmas, but right now Regan and I are running the streets and grocery shopping and doing all the things that I'm sure he wants to do if we can keep him out of the surf long enough. So maybe just a quick hello, Regan.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It'll be fun. I think we'll have a great time. Regan is now living in Denver, and has a nice job, graduated from San Diego State, played soccer for... Actually, you redshirted the first year, didn't you?
Yep,
so you played basically
then
5 years.
Yep, 4.5.
Yeah. And that was great. Was that a good experience overall?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Looking back on it now, I actually miss it more than I thought I would. I would really like to be able to just go back in time and play again. It's fun watching my brother play now at Washington.
Is it?
Yeah. No, it really is cool. Like, it's a pretty awesome experience to be able to see him do the exact same thing that I was doing, but just at a different program. So I'm kind of living vicariously right now.
Oh, that's good. He's doing pretty good. He did the same thing, though. He redshirted the first year.
Redshirted the first year. He had an injury, so he really had to. And then last year, played a good amount. Played well in every game that he got into, too. They had like a little bit of a weird year compared to what they usually do, but I think that going into next year, they have a very strong team. I'm excited. Like I've become a UW fan now, so it's fun
great.
To watch. Yeah, that's excited.
Perfect.
It helps that the football team's so good this year too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
it does seem they're good.
Oh yeah, I mean Sugar Bowl is on New Year's Day, and it's gonna be pretty cool. Mikey's gonna be there.
I know.
Yeah.
Is that great?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow the school had tickets, and he ended up with a ticket. A couple of his friends. And they'll be at the Sugar Bowl. They'll be here for Christmas, and then he leaves here, and I think pretty much...
He goes back to San Diego for, 2-3 days with us, and then he goes from there.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun for him, too, to be able to get to that football game.
Yeah, once-in-a-lifetime experience for sure.
And the rest of us will pretend, or some of us will only pretend we're watching it on television.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys will all be watching it, I'm sure. So we're going to try to do a little bit of real estate today, talk a little bit about... for Regan now, it's a little shocking being back in Lahaina. He's been here off and on since he was a tiny baby. And obviously, Julie, his mom, Ahu Flynn, graduated from Lahaina Luna in, I think, 1982.
82, yeah.
And she got back here for a couple of weeks after the fires and was able to spend time with her friends. Archie Kalepa was one of her classmates. And he's done a lot happening right now for everybody that's involved. And she was able to help some friends and get to the first football game that was happening. So being here, and then she'll be here for Christmas, so we're all excited. We're not going to do a whole lot of real estate on this show today. Should anybody be looking to buy real estate or talk real estate or learn something, you can reach Roy or Betty Sakamoto, Roy 808-870-7060. You can reach myself, Betty Sakamoto, at 808-870-7062. So if you have any questions or anything that we might be able to help you with real estate related, let us know, and we'll be chatting away about it. So meanwhile, we're going to learn more about what Regan is doing. Regan has a great job. What's the company that you work for?
Snowflake.
Snowflake. And what do you do primarily?
I'm in a very entry-level sales position, so I'm reaching out to different companies to see if they're interested in learning just more about our product, and then from there, people are kind of taking over the deal cycle. Again, we're a data management platform that allows you to have actionable workloads from there. So probably a little bit hard to explain over a situation like this, but again, it's a great company. I've been able to learn a lot just from my business perspective, and also just understanding how a lot of companies make money and how kind of the world works from coming out of school, you don't really understand it. And with time, it just kind of becomes part of what you are now.
That is true, though. I mean, I think when I think of coming out of high school and going to work and how that all, you had no clue how people were really making lots of money. And you're taking a job at the time, that's almost hourly. And it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
What it takes to get through it all and to learn what people are doing that really make money. The stock market, the this, the that, a bank account, putting money in the bank, getting bills paid on time, so you don't, not that you got that problem, but I think there's so much right now that young people, it's hard. It's hard to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to definitely adapt and work very hard. When I first started, obviously playing soccer and just being a student, it's a lot different. You're on your own schedule. You're doing kind of your own thing. You're obviously in time crunches too, but you have a little bit more freedom. And then when you go into a job, you have your 9 to 5. You're in the office. There's a lot of rules that are set in place. It's definitely a different experience, but you have to be adaptable. With time, it just becomes part of your routine again.
Yeah, it is. I mean, time will always be our enemy.
Yeah, as long as you're willing to learn and get better. I'm lucky that my company, or even my first job I had out of college, I had really good mentors who were I was able to learn from a lot, just in a lot of different perspectives, whether it's the actual industry that I'm working in and knowledge, or just seeing good habits of people. So
it's hard.
I'm very lucky to have had a really good first job, and then this is my second, and so far it's been fantastic. So
that's great. I have a little thing that I often, have said on the radio here, but it has about time. I've only but a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. And I think that's always been interesting to me because, you're always trying to keep up after a while. Time-wise, you've only got so much time for this, so much time for that. And the more, I've kept that in my thing, it's just a minute, somehow it all comes together and you make it work. So your mom gets here, not tomorrow, the next day. So she'll be here, Julie Ahu, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a good family Christmas. Nobody's been here for Christmas forever. You've never been here for Christmas?
No, this is my first time in the islands during the winter time. I think I've maybe been here in the spring one other time when I was younger, but I've never been here in December before. So It was kind of cool. I wanted to see it from a different perspective compared to coming in the summer. We have more time, but now time is around holidays because we're all doing our own thing as a family. So the timing is good.
Last night we all went to the Ritz Carlton, actually just us. Roy's niece was here, and she went with us. So there were 4 of us. We went to the Ritz Carlton for a really nice, the lobby level bar there. We had a really great dinner. It was super, and we all just talked for hours. It was really fun. You met someone that you had never met before or even knew existed, because it's actually one of Roy, my husband's sister's kids, and she lives in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So it was really a fun night of just talking and learning to know something about somebody else.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even every time I'm with Papa Roy, he'll tell me a story I'll have no idea. Like now living in Denver, bring up things that I'm doing, and then he tells me how he used to go to Vail all the time. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I have to pick his brain to get the information out of it because he won't just spring a story on me. But I've learned if I want to get a good story out of him, I need to ask good questions. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, we did. We actually bought a lot in Vail.
Yeah, that's what they told me. Yeah.
It was kind of interesting. We figured that someday we would build a house there, but then came the day that we really needed the money. And the market was up there, so we ended up selling the lot.
Yeah.
And we were glad that we did, because it was way beyond us, really, to try to build there and be here and, and all the other responsibilities that were going on. And even today, we're both still working in real estate, and we're loving what we're doing. So I don't think that'll ever change, or maybe in a few years, I don't spend as much time in the office as I used to, but we're both available all the time, and we'll help anybody that's looking for real estate or direct you in the right direction. So we really have a lot of fun. And again, 808-870-7060 would reach Roy. 808-870-7062 will reach myself, Betty Sakamoto. So we're available, and there aren't so many listings right now, but Kapalua does have some great properties available. And if you're interested in whatever it is, Oceanfront, there aren't that many available properties. So give us a call, and we'll do our best to help you or point you in a different direction to find what you need. A very hard time here after the fires, et cetera. And we're involved somewhat in trying to help solve some of those problems. But again, it's really a hard time for everybody here. Really, really difficult. It's Lahaina Luna High School. I'm on the foundation board, and right now, again, it's a really hard, everybody's raising funds. A lot of people are sending money direct to the Lahaina Luna High School Foundation with the request that it be used primarily for anybody that was injured in the fire or lost property in the fire. So it's been a little bit hard, but we have set up something that we are able to accept the money and direct it with no service fee or anything, but direct it totally to a cause that where people need something because of the fire. Either they lost a home, lost, so many belongings. There were so many very sad tales of people who died and couldn't get out, and that's a really difficult, and those stories are never going to go away. So hopefully, again, if there's something that we can try to do to help you that's related to that or direct you, we'll certainly do our best. Again, you've got the numbers, and we'll try to repeat them as often as possible, just so that you will get back to us and let us direct you in any way we can. I think by now everybody does have a good direction that they're going in. So, again, if you're looking for some real estate, give us a call, and we'll see what we can do. What are your plans now? After Christmas, you head back, and what's your schedule?
Head back to Denver. I'll be out there snowboarding a lot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get some more snow coming in pretty soon. I'll be working pretty hard until the end of January, and then going into the next fiscal year, I'm going up for a potential promotion, so I'll be kind of getting prepared for that, taking like the next evolution of like my job career too. So I'm excited. There's a lot of change coming up in 2024. I think it's going to be a good year in general. So 2023 was also a great year. So
yeah, I think so too. 2023 until August, had been, for us a really great. And I still can't believe that all happened.
Yeah.
And we've told the story, but I mean, for almost everybody in Lahaina, there came a point that day that we lost cell phone service. Our regular phones didn't work. We had no idea what was going on, and I think one of the first people that I learned was from his mom, and she, said to us that she was hearing all of this. We were hearing nothing.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get on the road. You couldn't go anywhere. Everything was blocked, and then you started hearing this horrible news coming through, and that really was a terrible time in our history.
Yeah.
So that was really, really difficult.
I remember when it happened too, because I remember I was working and I had a lot of people sending me just things over social media about it. I remember seeing it pretty early in the morning. But
tell us what you did. Here's a really great story. Regan stepped in over social media and wanted to be able to help here.
Yeah. Well, it was August 8th, correct?
Right. August 8th was the fires.
So I was obviously, like when it happened, I was extremely sad too. Like Lahaina is a part of my childhood and upbringing. Like I was able to, obviously not the same as people who live here or are native, but I was able to come here, once a year and really enjoy it. It's been such a great experience, and I've met so many people, and my mom's classmates too. I've been to 2 high school reunions. I've camped out with them. They've kind of brought me in as like a honorary family member.
Lahaina Luna was doing the thing, and you've done it a couple times now, where they had a camp out, and the kids came and they brought their whole family with them, and you were camped at, I think, Olowalu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was pretty amazing that everybody was there and had such a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, again, like last year I came, it was just me and Mom were there together, and it was cool for me and her to be there together for experience of me and her, but also to share that with her classmates as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, when it happened, I wanted to bring something to help out anyway. With work, I couldn't just fly out here and start being on the ground, unfortunately. But I thought that using my own social media presence and using the sources that I have and people that I know, I could try and raise money of some sort to give specifically back to my mom's class, who had, again, housed me when we went to Olowalu or fed me or were so kind and just like amazing people that I wanted to do something specifically. So I ended up running a half marathon. It was exactly 2 months after the fires had happened, and then had a fundraiser going just from a GoFundMe. I just posted it on my all my socials on Instagram and LinkedIn, and people were extremely receptive, and then 2 of my friends too from college ran a half marathon too to raise money, and then posted all over their socials, and we were able to raise like a little under $4,000, which we were able to disperse to all the class members that lost their houses. So again, like it's not an enormous sum of money, but if there's something that they just wanted to buy or to get, or it's not even, or for groceries for the week or anything, like something to help in the slightest way is anything possible, like goes a long way, I know, in those situations. So
I think it went a long way.
Yeah.
And I know for her classmates that it really meant a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it was rewarding, like even from my perspective, to see it and watch like my friends come together for a cause that they knew that I felt strongly about and that they wanted to help too. Not everyone has been to Maui who I'm friends with, but a lot of people have a connection to the islands in some way. So it was an amazing experience to watch people come together, and the majority of the donations really came from my friends who are all just starting work too. So like that dollar goes a longer way than it could be for other people. Mm-hmm. So watching that in the amount of people who I haven't even talked to in a while give to a cause that they didn't even know was, or they do know but weren't personally connected to, was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think it really is.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of your friends come here.
Yeah.
Over the years, and they would go out running, and they would run more than we could even walk. But it got to be comical because they did Pineapple Hill Road, coming up and down. And I think you guys would run that like 3 times in a row, up, down, something like that. Was it 3?
I don't even know what the number was. We would just be doing something to kind of stay in shape during the summer. We'd usually come out in the summer, and then in a month's time, you'd be back in like camp for preseason. So you had to stay in decent shape, or you're going to come back and be behind. So it was.
It was fun.
I love training here. Like that would be the best case scenario. Would just be to come out here all the time and just do that. I'd love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fun you guys being able to house some of my friends was awesome, and kind of understand who I am as a person as I got older, because your friends kind of represent who you are too. Mm-hmm.
They were great. One thing from the standpoint of real estate, we have a couple of great listings at the Ritz Carlton at Kapalua. One is the Ritz Carlton Penthouse, 1626, which is actually listed at $8.9 million, but it's really a one-of-a-kind, spectacular penthouse, and very difficult for us to get people in because it's occupied now. But it really is spectacular. It's almost 3,300 square feet, and huge. It's really, really wonderful. And then we have one other one, 112628, which is on the ground floor, also oceanfront, listed at $3,250,000, and again, spectacular. So it really is. It's spectacular. That's all I can say about them. But if you give us a call on those, we'll do our best to get you in to see those or describe them better. And everything at the Ritz Carlton, like dinner last night, we go there a lot just to kind of hang out or have an early dinner. Last night we had their smash burger and sushi, and it was really great.
Yeah, it was great.
And great conversation.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a real estate question?
Yep.
From like the perspective of someone around my age, being 25, is there any recommendations that you have of how to like get into real estate at a younger age? It's obviously difficult because everything's so expensive. But like, what is something that people who are younger can start thinking about moving forward?
Well, I mean, one thing is to think about the fact that you do want to own real estate.
Yeah.
You want to own it somewhere. I don't know anything about Denver right now.
I would just say from a national
or
perspective.
San Diego or wherever it is. Right now, let's say Maui is very difficult because we've lost so much real estate and we're kind of peaking in so many ways. But I think everybody is still always going to want to buy here. But I think that no matter what the age, I think somebody who's working and has a job, and the biggest thing is to set up some of a personal fund, where you always put something into that plan, whether you're going to be in Denver or you're going to be here or anywhere in the country, because you don't know where you'll end up really settling for good. But there's always a point. A lot of cases, young people will keep their eyes on new developments, and new developments sometimes will have a good moment to get in, where there's a lower down payment or they've got specialty lenders that are standing by and really helping. And that's not going to happen so much in Maui today. But it will. I mean, it will happen again. Denver, I would think some of the more or less suburbs, will help a lot, because that's the biggest thing for people is having enough down payment. And so that, again, just accumulating enough money that you can eventually do that. Often young people, do it as a couple, when someone is, at the stage where they are getting ready to get married, start a family, and they're putting money together, then I think it makes it easier. Sometimes you'll find parents, and I hate to say this to everyone, but parents, grandparents, whoever you can, that can help, help you get started. Yeah. But again, it's a matter of getting enough money together for a down payment, or finding a way that you buy a property that somebody really wants the income, so you won't have to qualify for a mortgage. But if you can come up with just enough money down, again, there's so many ways. But the first thing I would say is find a realtor where you're going to do it, where you're thinking you might do it. Talk to that person and come up with someone who is actually working, in the market that you're trying for. And you'll find it. You will buy something and you will own something. And it'll be great because your mom will see to it that you do. We'll all see to it that you do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to. It's you might see it here too, but like in general, like it's become more of like a renters like society from the younger age people. You're not seeing as many people buy houses at a young age right now. Maybe the age is just of like optimized buying is later. But I was just curious from your perspective on that.
Well, I think everybody should figure it out. We actually had the 2-minute warning a minute ago, so we have like 1 minute left, to finish up here. But I think that, again, Maui, there's so few. I mean, now rentals are a nightmare, getting any sort of a rental here. And Danny Couch is back, so we are done.
Yep.
But it's been great. Thank you so much. Aloha.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Aloha, everybody. Thanks for listening.